Well, we had talked before about, like, I work a lot. I enjoy what I do, so like it doesn't feel like crazy, but there's times I just feel overwhelmed because I take on so much, and not from, again, not from a bad standpoint. A lot of things are happening, but success brings success. So as I get better opportunities open, doors open, things I don't want to pass up open. I mean, I have two young kids, which makes it tough because like now I'm like looking at the clock. I'm like, I got to get home and cook dinner, and that's literally why I'm like running out. Otherwise, I'd work here till 9, 10 o'clock at night with no problem. Like I have plenty of work I can do. We talked about appraisals. We talked about inspections. I would punt that to as far as you can. Meaning, don't go to them. You don't need to. If you have nothing going on, sure, you can go to them if you want. I mean, the benefit is far outweighed by the time you're wasting, I think, or what I mean? Like,
yep.
What you're wasting in time wise does not make up for what you can actually change there. You're not going to change if an outlet doesn't work or something's not up to code. You being there is not going to change the result. Don't go. If you can't change the result, you shouldn't be doing that task. Negotiating, meeting with buyers, meeting with sellers, that stuff to me, you have a direct impact on the result. You don't have it on inspection. You don't have it on appraisal. Could someone argue that you could sway the person one way or the other? Maybe, but they're professionals. They're going to do the job no matter what. It's not like you talking to the appraiser is going to get the value higher. And if it does, then the appraiser is not being truthful and honest as to what they should be doing. So, to me, you can save a lot of time right there.
And that's 15 to 20 hours a week.
That's
summer.
insane. Insane.
Because each is about 3 hours long.
Yep.
And on average, you have a few of those.
I'm telling you right now, that number one, stop. Like from tomorrow, like if you have one tomorrow, call and cancel. Say I'm not going. Like sorry, my nose is like, I'm fighting a cold.
Allergies. It's still there.
It's allergies.
The same way, yeah.
It's allergies. But I would totally punt that, and like I said, get more consistent on real estate. Like I would challenge you, one post a day, real estate, like one post, and one because you're busy enough to do it. You know what I mean? There's no excuse for you. I mean, Ellie. I mean, I get it. Just a sec. Like Ellie is not doing stuff full time, but she should easily be able to do one post a day. I try to do 4 posts a day. Like part of the stuff that I'm doing, I think I have 3 right now. I'll post 2 or 3 right now. I'll post us. So I'm gonna have anywhere from 3 to 4 today. And so, but you know what I do? I put my phone recurring reminders every day in Google Calendar to post, and I tell what to post. Okay, you're gonna post a caption video. You're gonna post a quote video. You're gonna post a testimonial. You're gonna post a merch picture. You're gonna post just a random photo that you take. You're gonna post.
Okay,
So
you're gonna be mad at me, but I actually have those reminders, and I just can't clear them out.
So this is like a habit Ellie's got to break. Ellie, quit smoking. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things. Like she's got to break this hitting the snooze button thing. So, but it's the idea of just being like for you finding time. My thing is like, what have I punted the last 2 months because I've just been crazy busy? Is working out and eating right and stretching. So what if I like literally? I'm like, you know what? I've gotta really prioritize that, and I can't keep punting that. I can't keep hitting the snooze. I can't keep. I hit the snooze button, but I'm saying like I can't keep, deleting that task every day. Literally working out is on my schedule every single day on Google Calendar, and I went 9 weeks without going. So for me, I wasn't following my own calendar that I set for myself, that I have it very structured. Now, my mornings are structured, but as we know, as soon as the day gets going, our day gets going when it gets going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying, like responding, like my phone's off, right? Not off, but it's on do not disturb mode. I was at 14 text messages before I sat down. I don't know what it's at now. It's probably 17,
That
18.
doesn't give you anxiety to think about that?
No.
I
I mean,
got
it does, but I also got to take a step back and say, I got to prioritize stuff. So like me, this morning I had probably a 45-minute meeting internally with Nicole, going over stuff. I could have easily said, Nicole, listen, I got so much stuff. I got to respond to emails, respond to texts. I got to prioritize that and say, what am I doing? I'm going to talk to her because that's stuff that we need on the business aspect to help grow the business, and the back end stuff that we need to work on to become better. And then it's like now I'm going to react to all my stuff, and I go through my emails. I take the word from you because you said this very good. Is triage what I'm doing. What's my critical thing I got to get done? Text messages. A couple of them came in. They're not super time sensitive. I can get back to them in 3-4 hours. Would I like to respond right off? Sure, but I think people realize that, and I'm starting to get like agents or reach out and be like, hey, I know you're busy, and like I am. Like I would love to text you right back, But I like me responding to one of your texts is not on my high list of priorities right now. If I'm running out to show a property and you're texting me for some reason, I know I'm showing your home, I'm gonna check it. It's probably a reminder about something. But you asking, hey, did you check in with your client about when's the earnest money deposit coming in? I can respond to that later tonight.
Ooh, that gives me a good question for you. Okay, so in the era of digital signatures, do you do those?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say...
Like 99% of the time, yeah.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. So let's say you have a listing, and somebody puts an offer in on the listing, who you are also representing,
Mm-hmm.
but they put in the offer not in your physical presence. So when do you take the earnest money? For me, traditionally, because I go to inspections, my policy is then I'll take the check at the inspection.
Mm-hmm.
What do you...
They have to be in from the executed contract, they're supposed to be in within 3 days.
Okay.
So my thing is, this always killed me. So when I first started out, and you had to get contracts, this will blow your mind, Ellie, because it blew my mind how we were so far behind the times, is that when I was to make an offer on a property, one, we had to physically get the contract signed. So it means you had to meet with a person, or you had to fax it or scan it to a client to sign it, fax and scan it back, which could take days, could take hours, could take, people aren't fast doing that. People don't have the means to it. Hey, I think I got it. I won't be able to. I gotta, I'll have to go to someplace and send it tomorrow. I have to go to Staples to send it. I mean, this is literally like what happened. Then agents would be, every time they did a counter offer, they would cross out, write the new stuff in, initial change. Then they'd send it back. So like a counter could take a day, and then it was like, oh, I got the counter. And then I go back, cross change. Like this is how I roll on all my contracts. Because I'm one of the ones I just hate inefficiency. So I get a contract, I send out on .loop to somebody, they sign it, they send it back super quick. I get it to the agent super quick. I do not, back in the day we had to get a check, I had to make a photocopy of the check, I had to put the check with the file to make an offer. The offer's not even accepted.
Oh, we don't do that.
Oh.
This was up to about 3 years ago until we got .loop. So then I would get a check from, Ellie's a buyer, I'd get a check from Ellie to make an offer on a home. If the offer doesn't get accepted, just void the check. Well, why are we collecting a $1,000 check for escrow? So what would happen is, I get a contract, I send it off to I do have a pre-qual letter, because you need to see that, or proof of funds. I send it off to the agent. Then if we're doing any kind of counter offers, there's still some like old school agents that will cross stuff out and send it to me. Like, dude, you guys are freaking behind the times. Like, just give me the verbal. I will put the initial contract in writing, then we will go back and forth verbally, and then once we have the verbal contracts accepted verbally, if you're the buying agent, make the changes. If I'm the buying agent, I make the change. If I'm the listing agent, I make them make the changes. Get me the contract completely as it's agreed upon, have them re-sign it, I send it to my clients. I'm very much, if we have a verbally accepted offer, I will put it pending. Like I will do that, because my thing, if you're giving someone your word that, and people, yes, can they back out? Is there attorney approval? Yes, they can do it. To me, that's bullshit as to do it. To me, once you tell somebody that you're accepting the offer, to me, your word is stronger than any piece of paper. Like, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
That's not the case for everybody, unfortunately. But my thing is, if you have an agent, I tell them, like, listen, we verbally accepted, it's your house. And I'll put stuff pending before I have a contract in hand, because I trust that you're gonna give me the contract. So then and maybe I'm naive, but I look at it as I should be able to put trust in every party involved, that they're an honest person. Then I get the contract. Then once the contract's accepted by every single party, signatures on every party, then I will reach out to my client to get an earnest money deposit. And then I get it, and I will give it to the agent in 3 days. Sometimes it's a little bit later, because honestly, I don't have time to go drop the earnest money deposit off at your office. Agents will be like, where's the money? I'm like, listen, they dropped it off today, I'll put it in the mail. Well, can't you just drop it off the office? You can come to my office to pick it up if you want, or it's going in today's mail and you'll get it tomorrow or the next day. Like, I know you're 3 minutes across town, 4 minutes across town. For me to drive that, get in my car, drive back, there goes 15 minutes of my day. You're stuck at a light, stuck in construction, stuck at finding parking. Nope, I will spend the 50 cents, drop in the mail, even though I know it's a mile away, and it'll get to you. Because, I mean, my biggest challenge is time. Mm-hmm. It's time. I mean, that's all it is. I wish, we joke about it, but I wish there's 48 hours in the day, because I would fill those 48 hours, but I would get a lot of the stuff done, because I could prioritize.
That'd be awesome. Or no sleep. I wish I didn't have to sleep.
That's another thing. But I forced myself to go to bed at 10 so I can wake up at 5 or 4:55.